The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is All Things Elite. Welcome back to All Things Elite. Load up the pod, man, it's on when we speak. Rich right here, let me warm it up for Austin and Floyd. Couldn't be no one but the boys. When it come to All Things Elite from the fan perspective, swear, man, it ain't no question. Hear from them first. Swear, man, they putting in the work. No, they had to get me for the verse. Social Suplex Network's on. I was at a time in your headphones. Austin and Floyd on the microphone. Backing out on the ring, getting in the zone. Pulling up the show, give it 7 stars, you already know. Who else could it be but the show with the proclivity for positivity? I'm gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 274th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwoods, and I'm the host of this lovely show. Joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr. My man, how you doing?
Dude, I'm feeling like a real top podcaster, top guy. We back, baby. We'll find out. Y'all send it out that we back up. Send the word out, we back up. I am like super excited. You would think FTR won the tag team titles, got in the Hall of Fame or something. I jumped up out of my seat, scared my dog. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that as we get to the show review. But yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood when it comes to AEW. Unlike a lot of the fan base, I'm up. My the show has ups and downs. I'm 100% up.
Yeah,
because we back, baby. I've been predicting this for a year, asking for it for like 2 years. So I was like, oh my God, this is finally
longer than that too, man. I mean, we were asking for this when we were cheering for CMFTR. We've been asking for this for way longer.
Dude, these dudes are, of course, my favorite tag team. That goes without saying. But I can also, as a somewhat rational fan, understand when my team is miscast. And even like halfway through the year when they were still on this, hey, everybody has to like me thing, when they were on that, it was just like, oh my God, why are you doing this? It's so uncomfortable, okay? It's so uncomfortable because people don't like Dex a lot of times. I love them, but people don't like Dex. There was a time in the 80s you could come out and talk about loving your kid and loving your wife and fighting for your family, and you're Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and you're the biggest baby face in the world. Not what people want in 2024. 2025. They don't want that. So they want their faces to be more like Stone Cold, more like Hangman, vulnerable in everything, but still mostly a badass. So it felt like it was hard for them to portray. And I just think their natural role, the way they're going to be best to help AEW, help the tag division, is always going to be as the bad guys. I think that's what role they thrive in. Even in that second of after the situation happens, you could see that this is more their natural role.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, this is where we're at with this, and this is where we need to be. And we're gonna get into the whole ordeal because, of course, we had a very momentous Dynasty pay-per-view that wrapped up this past weekend. We just started recording a few hours after the Dynamite just finished up following Dynasty, so we got a lot to get into. We're going to go pretty quickly because, again, there's a lot that we got to touch on. Before we get into everything, though, real quick, got to do the show. Make sure you guys continue to support this show by downloading it, turning automatic downloads on, whether you listen to us on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Turn those automatic downloads on. Give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe, and then follow us on Twitter if you guys want to support us that way. We are at ATElitePod on Twitter, and you can also follow at Social Suplex, who make the other show, make this show possible. And you should check out all of their other incredible shows on their network. I am at Austin Szumowicz, SZUMOWICZ, and Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. News of the week, honestly, we can just go ahead and jump right into Dynasty, I feel like. Just get right into the show.
Right into the Dynasty review.
Because there's really not much else outside of that has taken place. So, real quick, in terms of 0 Hour, we only had 2 matches.
Which was weird. We didn't get Big Boom AJ.
We did not. No, it was 2 matches. And I was very much like,
and I thought they were saying, and even in the other parts, I thought they were setting up QT versus Paul Walter Hauser. So maybe they're saving that for
Double or Nothing.
Maybe they're saving it for Ring of Honor May 2nd in Atlantic City or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's possible too. Yeah. But in terms of the matches that we did get in on 0 Hour, one was just a quick little match because the best wrestler alive had his open challenge. Max Caster had his open challenge, and Anthony Bowens made his return with great music, and I loved his gear. I loved his entrance, and he came in, and Bowens quickly knocked him down and pinned Max Caster. Had Billy Gunn by his side as well, too, so that was awesome just to see Bowens come out, got a great reaction, and I loved it, and Max Caster wearing a Ben Simmons Philly jersey in Philly.
He was wearing the Nets jersey, wasn't it?
Was it the Nets jersey?
Yeah, it was the Brooklyn Nets.
I couldn't tell if it was the Nets jersey or I forget
jersey.
what their City Connect jersey. NBA has the worst City Connect jerseys of nearly every league. Like some of those jerseys are horrendous. The Pistons ones are actually okay, but the City Connect jerseys are terrible, and I barely remember what they even look like most of the times. Yeah. But he was wearing a Ben Simmons jersey, and it made me laugh.
Yes. Thing I liked about this, love the entrance. Bowens looked great. Billy Gunn staying with him because I saw someone tell me it sucks that Billy Gunn's with him. I'm like, that's the story, is that he picked Billy over Max.
Yes.
So if Billy Gunn is not with him, then the story doesn't make sense. So, all right. Billy Gunn comes out. It looks great. There's only one thing I didn't like. I fucking hate his finisher. But I've learned something. I hate any strike where you spin before you're doing the strike.
Right.
Because, and again, I understand what we're watching. It is a TV show. I understand. First of all, it looks weak. When you spin, it doesn't look like you strike them as hard, right?
Right.
And, second of all, it's just what I try to think of when I think of a finisher. Can I see you doing that finisher on a champion to take their title? And if the answer is no, it's a bad finisher. Could you see Anthony Bowens beating Will Ospreay with that move?
No.
Exactly. And this is not anything against Anthony Bowens. I hope you understand. 5 to a player. It's all real. Everything. He's always been nice to me. I don't like the finisher that he's chosen. And it's not that I haven't given it a chance. I have, because I've seen other people do this move, and I've always thought it sucked.
Right.
It's a great setup move to a move that actually works. But if you can't visualize yourself winning a title with that move, you should probably pick a different move.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And I'm not even saying I'd have no suggestions on the move. Whatever you decide, just not that one. I mean, when you live in a world where you got Will Ospreay doing the hidden blade, Kenny Omega doing a V-trigger, I'm like, you don't even have a top 5 strike in your own company and it's your finisher. Fix it.
Yeah, that can be an easy fix too. So.
Yeah, it's absolutely an easy fix. Like I said, I mean, it might grow on me. But the way he threw it with Max, it looked so weak. And I was like, why would that knock Max out?
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. Well, I mean, anything can knock Max out. He's a little bitch.
Yeah. You're right.
And then the trios match beforehand, Nick Wayne and Action Andretti and Leo Rush facing off against AR Fox and Top Flight was fun. I thought it was a nice, really fun match, really energetic match. A match that you would put on 0 Hour. I thought they did some really, really good stuff in this match. And yeah, honestly, I thought it was just pretty damn solid. And I thought AR Fox too was just moving everywhere. He was one of the ones that stood out to me big time. I was like, this dude's showing out big time. And Mama Wayne getting involved too, helping Nick get the finish. I like that. I liked her getting involved too. And I'm interested to see just kind of where we go with that, too, because with Nick Wayne having the little bit of the spat with Christian Cage a little earlier, I'm interested to see where we go with that, too. But Nick Wayne, too, that dude he's still got game. I really think so. So it was a pretty damn good 0-hour match, though.
The great thing about AR Fox is, you have those people that have their moments where they look like they phoned it in. Mm-hmm. I don't think that man has ever phoned in a match in his life.
No.
That dude could be losing in 3 seconds. He's going to go at a level 10 for that 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
That dude could be like it does not matter. And it's like, it's the one thing, like, that appeals to me about him. That I want him on my TV more because he goes so hard and his moveset is so innovative. And yeah, I like it. I like AR Fox. I hope they can do more with him, maybe push him on ROH if they decide he's not, Dynamite or Collision, but maybe push him on ROH. Dude, Lio Rush and Action and Ready. Again, I talk about with wrestling, you might hear me talk about casting because they are in their perfect role. Douchebag tag team right now that is great, but not as great as they think they are. And yes. I think that is so good right now. I'd find a way to get them just be on my TV all the time because, one thing about Lio Rush, first, he can wrestle. He's a 10 out of 10 wrestler. But when he's playing those roles and he's bought in on them, dude, I don't think there's anybody better. Because, right now, he's just, the cocky, douchey, heel tag team.
Right.
Perfectly classed. I never want them to go babyface.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit for Lio Rush either.
It doesn't look fit for he is perfectly in that role. Of course, I want to use them on AEW. I definitely want to use them on AEW. I want them to be on the show. But good Lord, it feels like they should be the next challengers for Dustin and Sammy and ROH.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because you know what makes douchey people even more douchey and better? Having a belt on their shoulder. It's like The Miz works all the time. I know a lot of people don't like The Miz, but I like his character work. But he's so much more effective and douchey when he's actually has a title and something to brag about. And I see that with Lio Rush and Action and Ready rolling around with those ROH tag team titles, talking big shit like they're the king of the world.
Sure,
that would be amazing. But again, we got a lot to cover, so I'm going to move on now.
Yeah, and we'll just move right into the main show, which opened up with a quarterfinal match in the Owen Hart tournament. You know how to start off a show. You put Will Ospreay to start the show off, and you're going to get people going crazy. And he faced off in the quarterfinals of the Owen tournament against the Jet Kevin Knight, making his big old massive, hey, look at me, this is my thing, and this is what I'm doing. Yeah, man, he showed out. That was the biggest thing. I was going into this match expecting to see Kevin Knight and what he could do and how he would hold himself against Ospreay, one of the best, if not the best wrestler in the company. And then they showed respect going into the match, and the whole thing was just basically, can Kevin Knight hang? And I think he did. I think he was able to hang. There was a couple moments where it felt like maybe he was going a little too fast and maybe things weren't as clean as they could have been. But I love the fact that there was a 10 count. They were counting. Ospreay was knocked out to the outside, and as he's trying to get to the ring for the 10 count, there's a great springboard to the outside by Kevin Knight that clotheslines him. Got some great height on that, and then the moment in the ring where Ospreay's getting going, he's doing his shit where he's fucking setting up, looking like he's gonna do a Styles Clash or a power bomb, and then Kevin Knight just immediately reverses that into just this amazing, just hurricanrana into I can't even describe it. It just looked fucking ridiculous. That I saw the crowd feel like a little bit of is he gonna steal one? Is this a massive upset play that they would go with? It wasn't. He was resilient, and Ospreay was able to get the win, showed his respect afterwards. Really, really, really great match to start. Nice little a win for Ospreay moving on in the tournament, and just a really good opening match. This is the type of match that would open a show, just to keep the crowd hot and get them hot, and just, it made a big appearance too for Kevin Knight, and he had another one on Dynamite, which we'll talk about later. And I'm excited to see where he goes, man. There's a lot of promise to him, I feel like.
There's a lot of promise to him, but I want everybody to throw. He's 28, right? He's out here. I feel like with our beautiful fan base that I love, it's all or nothing. It's like push him to the world title or 6 months, or you've fumbled somehow.
No.
Kevin Knight is going to be a project. You should start looking at him in a couple years as to where he's going to be in the roster. You know what I mean? Don't look at him now. He's got a dual New Japan AEW contract like Takeshita. He's going to be going back and forth. So
right.
I need everybody chill, be patient. You see the talent in this match. I don't think he's a fully formed character yet, right?
No.
I don't even think
he's a great wrestler, but we don't know anything about him.
Yeah, and I just say, and I think that'll come along. But I'm just like, I'm asking everybody when it comes to Kevin Knight and people like that, there are some people like Will Ospreay that are going to be in the main event the first time, Okada. With someone like Kevin Knight, he's not a project, but he's a longer-term development to getting into a main. And he has a good base. He's physical. He's a big dude. He's super athletic. He's going to get everything down, and I think he could be a top guy in the company later on. But like I said, I just asked for patience. I thought this match was great. To some people that might not have saw him on the Dynamite or whatever, or a Collision, this was a great introduction to him. Will Ospreay is a giver when it comes to the wrestling ring.
Big time.
And he doesn't know how to have a bad match, so he looked explosive. But yeah, Kevin Knight's going to be a thing. It's just like, bear with me on that one.
Yeah, it'll take time, but I think he'll be big into this for sure.
Because sometimes I think they do. Like, Mariah May was the perfect signing. They signed her. They knew what they wanted to do with her. They got 2 years out. But I think most people is they see you're available and they sign you, and we'll figure it the fuck out later.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So like, there you go. So it's just like, he's probably a we'll figure it the fuck out later guy.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, though. We moved right then into the Tag Team Championship match between the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, versus the Learning Tree, Big Bill and Brian Keith. And I thought this match, for the most part, was just fine. I thought there were some good moments in here, mainly just Big Bill being able to use his size to really just match up with Lashley. I thought was really cool. The big thing about it, though, was about, of course, this whole time we've been like, okay, well, MJF is trying to sell himself up to being a member of the Hurt Syndicate. How's that going to work out? How is he going to do some stuff? And he very much did some stuff where he is hiding behind the front row ramp, and he hides there. And then immediately, once he gets the opening that he's looking for, he proceeds to sucker punch Big Bill, which sets up Shelton Benjamin to get the German on Brian Keith, and then a spear on Brian Keith off of the distraction, and that led to the victory. I loved how there was just an utter confusion on their face, being like, why is this dude here? What is going on? I thought that was great. And yeah, this was, like I said, it was solid enough. I thought MJF being like, oh, did I do that? And then immediately leading the We Hurt People chant was great. But yeah, there wasn't too much I truly saw that stood out too much with this match. It was good. I didn't think it was anything like bad. It was just like, it didn't really stand out to me too much. And the victory was so clear from the moment the match was announced. And this whole match is basically to develop the storyline of Max trying to get himself in the Hurt Syndicate and make himself helpful and, a quality asset that the Hurt Syndicate would look to bring on. So I think it got that point across, but the match itself in between Learning Tree, Big Bill, and Brian Keith was just fine. More so I care about with the Learning Tree is what happened on Dynamite, which we'll touch on later.
Yeah, it was in essence an extended squash. The Big Bill looked really good in this match. They made him look physically impressive. He actually, overpowered Lashley a lot, and that hasn't had a lot. But, MJF took out the big gun, and then was 2-on-1 against Brian Keith, and you knew where it was going from there. It was just a match. I don't have a lot to comment on it. I have more comments on the Dynamite angle, so let's go.
Exactly. That's where we'll get to that point for more of that. We then have another Owen tournament match, but this time it's from the women's side of things. It's the quarterfinal match between the TBS champion, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, facing off against Julia Hart of the Hounds of Hell. First of all, something I don't comment too much about this, and maybe Floyd, you can maybe agree with me on this. Whoever was doing these two girls' gear, like, y'all fucking slapped. Like, the gear that these two were wearing was fire. Like, I don't normally get deep into the weed with wrestlers' gear or anything like that. I don't normally get too, like in the weeds of that kind of stuff. But I don't know, man. They both looked fire in their gear. I mean, like, obviously, Mercedes was, like, literally with a fire design, but, like, Julia Hart looked like $1 million with her gear, too. I thought it was just awesome. And she's always had a great presence with her attire for her wrestling. So, but this especially, I was like, damn.
I thought it was a very good gear night. I thought, there was some gear in other matches where I was just like,
oh, sure, yeah.
And then I found out what they were doing, and it was like, oh, that's amazing. So, I thought they did a really good job on the gear that night.
Yeah, that was something that just stood out to me, first off, before the match even started. And then as it went on, it was also really good, honestly. Harley being backstage watching the TV with the puppet, Monet, was incredible. Got a huge pop out of me. There was, early on, a little sloppy. There was a bit of a slip up from Mercedes that I caught, and the crowd definitely made note of. But Mercedes playing it off like, fuck you, I don't care, which was a nice little thing. I loved the moment where she gets Julia Hart in the Tree of Woe and then sits full on, and I believe it was very intentional. Her sitting like Malachi Black, I thought that was fucking, ooh. I thought that was great heel work from Mercedes. Match-wise, I thought there was some really, really good work in this. And I thought as Julia was starting to really try to fight out of the statement maker, and then she was able to get the Heartless on, you felt the crowd really get her. Like, I thought like that was the moment where that was the loudest reaction of the match. Crowd was really behind Julia. I loved seeing that. She was able to do some really, really good stuff in this. I love the transition from a DDT and then hitting multiple submissions too. I thought was really nice. But eventually, after she had the statement maker put up multiple times, she was able to get Julia tied up and set up a pinfall in a cradle and steal a win over Julia Hart. Mercedes Moné moves on, and Athena was also scouting off of the TV backstage as well. So really good back and forth match. I thought it was a little bit points in it where there was some slip ups. Nothing that was derailing, I felt like, but I thought, man, people got some love for Julia, and I know the Hounds of Hell too. They got some love on them too. So I'm just loving seeing them involved too, and it's a nice win for Mercedes Moné. Obviously, everything that we're looking forward to for them is going to be in the semifinals, because like that's where Harley, that's with Athena, and where are we going with this basically? So quarterfinals is kind of just getting them to that point.
I completely agree. This match, like, pretty much I agree with everything you said, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, just repeating what you said. But this just shows how good Mercedes is, because I don't know whose fault it was, but a lot of stuff in this match was kind of sloppy that she kind of cleaned up, just being a veteran and knowing how to adjust. And I thought that was really cool. And I think what could have went to a nightmarish type match, she still, with her veteran takes and Julia's ability to adapt, we ended up with a good match, a solid match. You know what I mean?
No, it wasn't anything insane, but it was good.
And I think because of that, because they can go back and see what happens and do it in the, scout, when they do another match, which they will, it's going to be a lot cleaner.
I agree. No, I 1,000% agree with that. And then we move on to the Trios Championship between the Death Riders and Rated FTR. And I'm just letting Floyd take over from this point right now, honestly.
I mean, let's be real. Fuck the match.
Yeah. The match is just
Death Riders
The
won.
only thing I had written off on the match was that I liked how they teased the Dax heel turn with him stealing the tag from Cope.
Yeah.
And the dueling balled sharpshooters.
Yes.
I thought was really, really good. And then Yuta getting the win was just getting massive heat on him. Massive.
Yes. And I will tell you this. Watch Claudio and Pac. Watch how they wrestle, right? And this is going to go to a point that I make later. Watch how they wrestle now, as they're wrestling now, and think about how they wrestled 8 months ago before this happened, right? I do think a lot of the Death Rider shit is intentional, and and like I said, I will go further into it later, but of course Death Riders cheated, won, cool. After the match, they pick up Cope like they normally do. They're raising each other's hands. Dax puts Cope down. Pile driver. Boom. Out of nowhere. Runs out to the ring. Grabs 2 chairs and is about to do a concerto. Cash, let me tell you, my heart dropped. Cash pushes Dax. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck are they doing? Telling you, they got me on this one. Because I thought they were going to try to stretch this out longer. Cash picks up Cope, like, they put him in position, boom, shatter machine.
Yeah, the way that it looked like he was lifting up Cope to help him up to his feet, and then he pulled him into the shatter machine was just
amazing.
Stellar.
Yes.
Stellar.
Chef's kiss. Then Dax is sighting him up for the concerto. Cash is like, no, I gotta do it. 1 time, 2 times. I think they spike pile drived him after that. Mm-hmm. Dude, like, this is the greatest, like, one of the greatest write-offs in history. And it was excellently executed. Then, after he's good and down, and they're bringing out the stretcher, Cash runs out, gets the neck brace and starts dancing around with it. Then he lays on the thing, and Dax acts like he's doing CPR.
It resuscitates him back to life. Oh, my God.
Okay. Again, if anyone has ever listened to the show and questioned when I say FTR is miscast as faces, miscast as the good guy, 1 minute of them being heel, like, just go look at Twitter.
Bro.
Dude, I was glad they didn't show up on the show tonight. So I was pretty sure they would get cheered.
Mm-hmm. No, they're saving them for Collision.
Yeah, saving them for Collision so maybe people will boo them. But God, this is FTR. This is what my fan base was built off of. This is where my fan who was built. I love them whether they're heel or face. Don't get me wrong. But this is FTR. Immediately, like while it's happening, while they're running to the back, I send Cash a tweet, like a DM, shit, he might answer, he might not. I'm like, we're not besties or anything like that. And I say, we back. And then I got a reply the next morning, we all the way back. That was all that needed to be said. That was all that needed to be said. I know what that means. This is FTR. I am ecstatic. Again, you'd have thought they got in the WWE Hall of Fame. You thought they won the tag team titles. You thought they even won the fucking match. But I was so happy because it's just, I'm not going to say they're uncomfortable. They're great wrestlers. But it just seemed forced, them trying to say the good things. They were the super cocky heels that you hated because you couldn't beat. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love, that's what I love.
And they were the antithesis of everything that AEW is. No flips, just fists is like an active attack on most of the AEW roster.
Yes. This is what they're going to do. I'm ready for some chin locks where they stay in it for like 5 minutes and the crowd gets pissed off.
The tag psychology.
The tag ropes. I am ready for FTR to come back. Dude, everything in me. I'm just like, oh my God, it's just bubbling. I'm so excited. FTR, forever the revival. Fuck the rest. Because that's what it's back to. When they are not on the good side, it's fuck the rest. And the rest was Cope. Again, people called it a heel turn. It wasn't a heel turn. It was a culling. You saw this lion that used to be the leader of the pack, and he just can't quite keep up anymore. So you know what the nice thing to do is? Not let him fade away to the back of the pack. No, he's a lion. He's the leader. You got to put him down. It's peaceful. It's respectful. It's the right thing to do. FTR just did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't do anything wrong. He couldn't hang no more. The ultimate opportunist that we all in love beats Mox. This old man, nah, he ain't got it. He ain't got it. So we had to put him down. Yeah, and I say we. Fuck y'all. Yeah, I said we. We had to put him down. And believe me,
you're so in this, dude.
Believe me, this is what you got now. This is me. This is me as a FTR fan. I have had for 2 years to pretend like other teams were as good as FTR. I had to.
Yeah.
And that was it. You
had to acquiesce so many times when FTR was not doing well and stuff like that. They're just not there right now.
No. Everybody's going to get down. And it was like, and everybody's like, oh, Cope's bringing Christian. I was like, Christian Cage, Christian Slater, Christian Bell, I don't give a fuck. Shatter Machine, 1, 2, 3, that's it. I'm on my Shannon Sharp shit when it comes to FTR, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers in 5, FTR, Shatter Machine, 1, 2, 3. That's what you get. I don't care who you line up against. Sorry, Hurt Syndicate, you better watch your back.
Oh, yeah. They better show up on Collision with the truck.
Dude, I didn't even think of that. You just got me like aroused mentally.
Bro, like seriously.
Yeah. Like, dude, they show up in the truck? They roll up in the truck? Oh God. Yeah. I am so
for free, yeah.
I got 3 AEW shows in May. So I am looking forward to them busting.
FTR's got to be on at least one of them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them busting some ass. So let's fucking go.
Let's go, man. I got the old one, the one where they had the jacket, the Forever the Revolution ones they got out with Tully in them.
Yes.
I'm busting that one out back.
Dude, I am so glad. I'm so glad we're home. Dude, it was like, and I say it like, we are home. You know, like, I am so happy with this.
We are all the way back up, boys. And that's really all you take out of it. Match was whatever. It was fine. But
the match was even good.
Yeah,
but it was completely overshadowed.
It doesn't even matter at this point, man.
Yeah.
This is all we needed. This is all we needed.
Yeah, we back. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Moving on now to the AEW Women's World Championship match between Timeless Toni Storm and Megan Bayne. Had a lot of, me personally, a lot riding on this match because I've said multiple times on this show, I don't get Megan Bayne. She just hasn't clicked with me. I think she's got a great look. I think she wrestles fine, but it just hasn't. 2 and 2 have not come together yet. I've not had that moment yet with her. And I was hoping, because she was going into a match with what I feel is the best women's wrestler on the roster, Timeless Toni Storm. I'd love to see something out of this. First of all, Toni, after my own beating heart, you're in Philadelphia. You have a full-on Rocky training montage in her own crazy batshit way, and then she comes out full-on Italian stallion, Luther basically as her Mickey and or Paulie, probably more so Paulie than Mickey if I had to bet. She comes out with the boxing gloves around her. Oh, I know it's cliche because it's Philly, but I don't give a shit, man. Rocky is my favorite movie franchise of all time. And seeing Toni come out there is spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. Her mannerisms as she's getting ready for the match, too. Like, Luther's involvement, just, I love that shit, man. Love that shit. That was an Oscar-worthy performance if I've ever seen one.
Dude, okay. I love this, and of course, Rocky's one of my favorite. Like, it's either that or Fast and Furious with me. There is a close second. If I don't know which one would be two, it's dependent on the day that you ask me.
I was just saying probably the mood, I bet, too.
Yeah. So, it depends on where I'm at mentally, but, I was very happy. The Megasis, man. dude, you know how I feel about her.
Oh, I know how you feel.
Oh God, I mean, dude. I mean, I think Jade is the only 10 out of 10 perfect look wrestler that ever existed. She's 10 out of 10. There's like, give me hey, what would you change on her? Nothing. Megan's like 9 out of 10. She's right there. Like,
and then let me put this on the record too. Harley Cameron is 12 out of 10. I'm just telling you right now.
And what I'm saying is, I am not talking about. I want everybody to know I'm not talking about whether I'm attracted to her or not, which of course I'm a human, but I'm talking about like a wrestling look. That's what I'm like she is attractive, but also looks like she could beat your ass.
Oh, sure.
And that's what Jade has. That's what Megan has.
And
and it's like when you have that perfect combination of things, that's why I say Jade's 10 out of 10. Megan's right there with it. And it's like they both worked for AEW at one point, which is awesome. So, and I don't know. If you listen to the preview, I booked this match, did I not?
You pretty much did, honestly.
I booked this match. Like, there was the area where Tony, it almost threw me off. She hit the 3 in a row and then the pile driver. And I was like, oh, so she's just going to beat her. And then she fucking kicks out at 1.
Exactly.
Like, dude.
It was great. No, that was great, honestly.
I was like,
and I thought, and even everything else before that, too, I thought the moment where she suicide dives onto Luther and then Alpha the distraction, Tony Storm uses Luther as a stool to get the spinning DDT, which was great. There was massively terrifying German suplex, avalanche German suplex. I thought Megan landed on her head, scared the living piss out of me. Glad she's okay. Didn't seem like an issue. And then, yeah, dude, like you said, just all that damage she throws, and Megan kicks out at 1. Tony is completely thrown off. I thought that was so good. But then eventually, as she hits the Falcon Arrow, and looks like she's going to get it, though, Tony still fights out and hits she fights out of the power bomb. She gets the power bomb, and then she goes for the Fates Descent. Tony gets the cradle and then gets the quick, steals the win on pinfall on Megan Bayne. Yeah, this gave me a lot more with her, I thought, than I previously had with Megan. Tony, I thought, did a really good job. I think match itself, I thought, was really, really good. I thought they did a really, really good job. And I'm very much, I very much am hoping to see more character-wise with Megan. I know she had a small little moment on Dynamite, and they seem to be having Penelope Ford more so be her mouthpiece, which is fine, I think, for the most part. But you can definitely see the level of her, the way she carries herself, the way she is a presence in the ring. That it's pretty undeniable for the most part, and I'm still not sold fully. But this did a nice little bit to sway me a bit more, and I think a couple more matches like this would definitely make me be like, oh no, Megan Bayne, she's for real. And I would not be shocked if that happened sooner rather than later.
Dude, she has some great moves. I love her lariat. I love her F5. It's that's great. I thought, like, after she kicked out at 1 and she started whooping, I thought they were just going to put the title on her, and I wouldn't have had any problem with it. But then she rolled her up, and I was like, fuck, did I not call this? I was like,
very much, dude, like you said, you booked it.
And Jason, he was at the show, and he was like, yeah, I think you, like, basically spoiled the match. I was like, I didn't try to. I was just like, in my head, this is how I would book it. And, they saw sometimes my ideas line up with AEW's ideas. So that was pretty cool. But, yeah, I thought this was perfect way. I don't think Megan should lose for a while.
Right.
If she lost to Toni Storm by a roll-up, I don't know when her next title shot is going to be. But it shouldn't, when she goes on that title shot, she should be on like a 20 or 25 match winning streak. I just have her destroying people on Collision like really quickly just to build up that winning streak again and to build her until she gets another shot at Tony.
Yeah. No, I think that's honestly a pretty solid little bit to get her built back up, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The next quarterfinal match in the Owen Hart tournament for the men's side was Mark Briscoe versus the protostar Kyle Fletcher. And Kyle Fletcher knows what the fuck he's doing because this man's showing up pinked out like a motherfucker.
Right.
Like, you know, right there, there's your favorite to win because he knows to wear pink when you wrestle in the Owen. He knows what's up.
And I have been lucky enough to be at the show, like on the Collision when they wrestled. And I think Briscoe won that one. This was during the tournament and doing the C2, and Briscoe won. And yeah, these dudes have magic. Whenever Kyle Fletcher becomes the world champion or whatever title, Mark Briscoe should be his first opponent because they don't know how to have a bad match.
This is another example, man. I loved how...
This was the match of the night for me.
I can see it. Honestly.
Yeah, it was one. I mean, I can't call the turn a match because that was the moment of the night.
No,
this was the match of the night. I thought this was the best match of the night. I had worked a 12-hour day, so I was... I was put at a workout day, so this was like, I think I had like 2 more matches in me before I was just like, well, kind of wanting the show to end.
Right. No, I feel you, though. But, like, they jumped out the gate. Fletcher jumping Briscoe as he's making his entrance I thought was great. The redneck kung fu coming out early on. I loved how he starts getting the chairs out and he wants to use them, and Rick Knox tries to get rid of them, and then Mark Briscoe immediately just screams, "Boo this man!" and everyone starts booing Rick Knox, and I am all for booing Rick Knox. Enemy for life, Rick Knox. Fuck Rick Knox.
Yeah, baby. I'm
all for it. I
don't know why we hate Rick Knox, but hilarious.
Oh, I hate Rick Knox. Fucking stooge. I ain't afraid to say it. But I loved how he just proceeded to like, okay, you're going to take away my chair? Cool. Here's 7 more chairs I'm going to throw into the ring, and you're not going to be able to stop me from using at least one of them. And, of course, because Rick Knox has the absolute visual focus of a goddamn seal, like he can't see shit, that man just proceeds to get rid of the chairs, and he doesn't see as Kyle Fletcher uses it to his advantage and basically proceeds to suplex him right onto the chair, which looked fucking fire. It was awesome. Fletcher was powerbombing him onto the barricade. I thought they just really... They're high speed, high energy with this match, too. Their double clothesline spot just looked like they were both shot out of a cannon. I thought was great. The LED, like the power bomb on the LED railing by the fans on hard cam, that shit looked like it fucking sucked. That looked like a vicious bump. But eventually, Briscoe's fighting through a whole lot of this whole deal, and he goes to try to hit 3 froggy bows. But this time he gets blocked on the third one. Third time's the charm, and that's where he gets a turnbuckle brainbuster on Mark Briscoe, and Kyle Fletcher picks up the win to move on. Fucking really good match. Really, really good match. I loved how these guys just like Floyd said, too, man. I mean, it was the same in the C2. They're just really fucking good when they lock up against each other, too.
Some people just have chemistry, man.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I just thought this match was so impressive. Kyle Fletcher's that dude, and you can't argue with yourself. He's going to be the AEW World Champion. He's gonna have a year-long reign. He's gonna be one of those people that transition AEW into that next. I feel like he's one of the better wrestlers on the roster, but I feel like he's gonna be in that tier of the elite within a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be a guy that's in the main event or better, main event or semi-main or main event every show very soon because he's that good. And and Briscoe is just a solid wrestler. And I've seen people say that they should push Mark Briscoe harder. I think he plays the perfect role right now.
No, he's in a great role. Like, this is a role he can play basically at all times.
Now, if you want to push him over 2 months, like in a C2, and he wins just for him to come up short in the title match, hell yeah, do that. But I just, I don't think Briscoe's the face of your company ever. So.
No. He had a little fun appearance on a local news station where he was selling
and that was hilarious.
It was funny as shit though, but like,
dude,
you're going to have other guys trying to sell your company and sell appearances other than Mark Briscoe.
Dude, at some point in time, I know people, like, when you come to wrestling, you want it's AEW, it's all elite wrestling. You want the wrestling to be center stage. Will Ospreay made it clear 90-10. But sometimes you just need people that are entertaining when you can't let them
Absolutely.
win. So, like, Harley Cameron is a value. You sign Harley Cameron up to a 10-year deal. Because of whether she wins, loses, or whatever, if you just want her in a comedic setting, whatever part, she's going to make people pay attention. Mark Briscoe is that same thing for men. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses. Wins or losses mean literally nothing to his character because he's so good and he comes back and he cuts a promo and you forgot about the result of the last match because he's that talented and you need utility players like him.
Yeah, no question about it, for sure. We then move on to the Ring of Honor World Championship match, title versus mask between Chris Jericho, the Nueve, and Bandito. You knew how much people were looking forward to this match because people started filming on the concourse. Everyone using this as their moment to take a bathroom break.
Dude, let me tell you. First of all, I feel like this is nothing to George Jericho them. You don't get breaks in AEW TV. You don't. Their pay-per-views are all killer, no filler. All killer, no filler. And it really is. Even me. JR will tell you, an hour or 2 hours before the show, I don't drink anything. And then, like, when I get there, I go use the restroom, and then I sit down with no drink, and I sit there for 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Because I know there is no bathroom break. Mm-hmm. You literally have to pick the match you don't want to see if you want to go pee. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. But yeah, it's really what you have to do. I mean, because especially like you and me like to sell clothes, bathrooms aren't generally convenient. Like, depending on how many people in there, it's a 5-10 minute trip. So you could miss a whole match.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I completely understand them going to the bathroom during this match because, honestly, they were probably going to get time. You would come back 10 minutes in and then probably get, like, the last 5-10 minutes of the match. I understand. It's strategic. Me, personally, I have this thing. I try especially hard never to go during women's matches. Ever. The women, I'm staying there for. Because right. I lived through the years of the women's match being the bathroom break. And I don't want that to be, I don't want to perpetuate that. But the way AEW does their shows, you have to pick a match. And if you happen to not care about the women, that's when you go. Chris Jericho, some people don't care about ROH. I understand it.
Yeah, no, I mean at this point it is what it is. And people are so sick of Chris Jericho, and I can't tell them not to be. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I
was going out of my way to not say they were sick of Chris Jericho, but okay.
Oh no, people are sick of him. People are sick of him because I mean, dude, if you needed any proof of that, the finish told you that much. Which here's what I'm gonna tell you right now. Because the match itself, I thought, honestly, had some really good moments. Bandito using his ability. I thought his strength where he dodged a move with a back handspring into like a headstand and used his core strength to keep him standing up. And then the unbelievable moment where he's just like got Jericho held up in the suplex hold and he's just keeping them and he keeps him there for a full 60 seconds, like a full minute. Crowd was losing it at that point. I thought it was great. Jericho honestly had a really good hurricanrana too off of the top rope, which was really good too. And then the finish. Because here's the deal too. I'm so used to the stuff in the main event picture that people are only just now getting mad about. But bro, this was so much worse. This finish was just ridiculous. I don't know if Floyd is with me on this. I thought the finish to this was ridiculous. So,
oh, dude, no, like it was so bad.
Yes.
So it was so bad that it broke wrestling.
It very much did.
Because at this point, pretty much every interference spot ever that happens after AEW, you'll ask, why didn't they just restart the match?
Right.
And I know
Exactly.
it's wrestling and it doesn't matter. They'll forget about it tomorrow. Whatever. That is not the fan base that you have cultivated in AEW.
Nope.
You have not cultivated a fan base that easily forgets. You have not cultivated a fan base, well, it's just wrestling.
Well, we know. It is what it is.
You have not...
Don't think too hard about it.
Yeah, you have not cultivated that fan base. Your fan base is based on being passionate and pay attention and things making sense. This shit didn't make sense.
So where this goes is Brian Keith working his way down to the ring, trying to involve himself in the match and try to help Jericho. He's hobbling his way down there, but then Gravity comes out to start brawling with him, and they're fighting on the outside. And, of course, the referee is distracted, and he's trying to handle everything outside. And that's when Jericho has Floyd, the baseball bat, hidden in between the steel steps and the ring post. He pulls it out, hits Bandito in the head with it, and then covers him, and he wins. Wins by shenanigans, and the crowd is just dead silent because they're just like, I can't believe he just won again. I can't believe he just won again.
Oh, they got me.
Yeah.
I thought this man was about to be unmasked on national TV.
And that's the whole thing, too, is like now they're teasing the fact that Bandito would be unmasked. And ringside during this match, they showed him during his entrance. They showed him multiple times during the match. Bandito's mother and his sister were there, and they're screaming at Aubrey Edwards, who came down to stop the fight between Brian Keith and Hologram. Or Gravity, I should say, not Hologram. So they're screaming and they're telling referee he had a bad hit in there, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And the mother and sister of Bandito are walk from their seats into the ringside area to show Aubrey Edwards that there's the bat that he hid, there's the bat that he used. Aubrey shows it to the referee. Aubrey shows it to, I believe it was Bryce Remsburg. And from that information that they have right there, that there was a baseball bat hidden in between the ring post and the steel steps, they do restart the match thanks to the persuasion of Bandito's mother and sister. So the match gets restarted, and that's when Jericho tries to go after them. She slaps Jericho, and that's when Bandito hits the 21-plex, gets the pinfall, and there you go. There's the finish that we were expecting, which was Bandito becoming the new Ring of Honor World Champion. And I'm very, very happy for Bandito. I'm very happy to see him in the spot. But this was a complete slap in the face.
All the joy that you're supposed to feel for him winning the title.
No, exactly. You don't feel anything.
You know, it got zapped away. I feel no joy from this man winning the title because of that stupid ending. If they had even said, as the mask is on the line, and that's such a Mexican tradition, we're gonna have two referees watching everything.
Yes. And they had all the other luchadors and all the other Mexican wrestlers talk about the importance of the mask leading up to the match itself weeks prior.
But yes, you tell me that there's going to be a second referee out there, and then Aubrey sees it and starts the match again. That's great. But in the whole of wrestling history, when has circumstantial evidence ever led to the finish? There was a bat there. It doesn't mean he hit him with it.
Absolutely.
Dude, my whole storyline would be Chris Jericho bringing in a lawyer tonight and getting the match reversed because...
No, he should have showed up on, the TV time with Jericho, which we'll touch on from Dynamite. He should have showed up the next day with a lawyer to be like, there's no reason that my opponent's family members should have been able to have some power and sway over these dumb referees to restart a championship match that I won.
Yes. I'd be like, and I'll say this, did you see the bat? Did you see me hitting the bat? You found the bat under there. I didn't necessarily put the bat there.
And even if you saw it too, the referee's decision is final. You can't overturn that shit.
Dude. There was so many wrestling. I'm talking about inside the fairy tale land that is professional wrestling at times. You broke every rule of wrestling.
Yes. So now, if there's some sort of fucking instance where, oh, well, they used a weapon and cheated while the referee wasn't looking, some schmuck on the goddamn side of the ring could just go and point to the referee like, hey, look at this dumb shit, and just be like, hey, restart the match. Because apparently that works now.
Yeah, because if the lights go out and somebody comes in and the lights come on and they hit a guy with the double knee and they pin him, you know what? We should have restarted the match, right?
Yeah.
No.
At this point.
Like, dude, you broke my wrestling brain, which is hard to do because I accept a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, you really can. And again, it's not fair to Bandito, who they've spent so much time setting this up for him. They've spent so much time trying to get this point to where he would be the guy to beat Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship. And now, this is I've not had anything against Chris Jericho for the most part. Like, am I a fan of his? Like, to what he's been doing recently? Not particularly, but I don't hate it. You know what I mean? Like, the people despise Chris Jericho and what he's been doing. Like, they hate his stuff. This is one of the few things where I've looked at it and I'm like, Jericho, I'm like, you, like, the whole thing about the idea of him, you know, holding other wrestlers down and blah with this, you know, like, haha, working you with that kind of stuff. Like, no, you actively hurt Bandito's championship win. People don't care about it nearly as much as they would have if he just would have beaten you.
Absolutely.
Roll up whatever way it was. Maybe he had help. Maybe there was some sort of shenaniganery. Doesn't matter. There's other ways you could have lost that title and still looked like Chris Jericho. And you decided to go with the worst fake out possible that people were genuinely like, oh my God, you just slapped us in the face.
Yeah. No, like, it irked me as a diehard AEW fan that pretty much defends everything they do.
Yeah.
It's Chris Jericho. I don't think any lower of either wrestler. I am blaming how it was booked, the thought process that went into it. Correct. The idea that you thought this would just be okay.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you were going for a dusty finish, and I feel like you executed it in the worst way possible.
I'm right there with you. And again, I'm happy for Bandito. I really am happy for Bandito, but this did not help him at all.
I hope he gets a rematch against Chris Jericho at the Death or whatever the pay-per-view is called in May. I think it's Supercard of Honor, and he just beats him clean.
Yes, definitive victory.
He needs a definitive victory because you took something away from Bandito in this match. But we can move on to the next match.
Yes, we'll move on now to the TNT Championship match between Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole.
I want to start this before you're going to go through the match. I understand. But at this point, I started fading.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the show was 5 hours plus long.
Yeah, it was. I started fading. I told my wife, I was like, this is on me. I have to, I got off work and I went straight to watching AEW, right?
Yeah. I'm
going to have to get off work a little early and take a nap because this felt like a marathon. And so this
and
match,
honestly too,
this match suffered until I went back and watched it yesterday.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And honestly too, I feel like because again, like match wise, there wasn't too much. Like it was just a long show. Like there was only 2 pre-show matches, and the pre-show was still like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. Like with 2 matches, that should not be the case. But then also too, it's like as much as I loved the matches that we're actually using it for, the fact that a majority, like there was 3 matches on the card that were Owen tournament matches. Like I feel like you cut, like obviously you want to get those guys on the show. They're some of your biggest stars that are in those tournament matches too. But like you just saved a lot of time too. And we're used to AEW shows being pretty damn long too. But I mean, like it felt like it just got to a point where it was just, it was a little bit of work trying to get through the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, and and this was one of the matches I was looking forward to. So I watched the first 2 matches on Collision. I enjoyed them. I know some people didn't. I really did enjoy them. It was told like they were very even, and then they put on the match, and it was like I was excited about the match, and it's just like it's a long show. So
first thing I will say is I loved Adam Cole coming out with the Witcher 3 inspired gear. That dude is such a nerd. I love it every time he comes out with his gamer gear.
It was a great gear night. That's what I said. It was a great gear night. I love that they step up their gear for the pay-per-views. I've never played The Witcher. Don't know what it's about. Don't know anything about it.
You are a Madden NCAA gamer.
But I saw the character, and then I saw him, and I said, dope.
Yep. So, this whole match, I feel like the whole design of it was the fact, of course, of Daniel Garcia trying to get a killer instinct with him being a champion. And the fact that he agreed to this match. I know Daddy Magic was giving him a little bit of talk on this and being like, you don't have to accept this match. You don't have to get involved with this. You can just, be the champion that you are. So he's like, you got to come in with a killer instinct. And that was what this match was. Early on, Adam Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise on the outside, and his ankle flares up again. And that's when he immediately, Garcia, goes at the ankle. Goes at it. He's kicking at it. He's very much going in at it, and he's using that to his advantage to be able to get a victory, try to get a victory over him. I really, really, really liked how that was kind of just the full focus of the match. And I thought Adam Cole, too, was able to really just fight through that a lot. I thought the match was really, really solid, honestly. I thought it could have been a bit better, but I didn't really have anything that I had against it. I liked how Daniel Garcia's whole idea was just basically trying to be doing more damage too. And Garcia was looking like he was going to do more damage when he was over by the turnbuckles. And eventually he thinks less of it and doesn't do it, and that allows Adam Cole to get some momentum. Gets 2 Panama Sunrises, gets the boom knee, and becomes the new TNT champion. If I'm not mistaken, this is Adam Cole's first singles championship in AEW, correct?
It is his first singles championship in AEW.
Massive shit.
Yeah.
Massive shit for Adam Cole.
And it's a great title to win. I think the TNT title, no disrespect to Daniel Garcia, just kind of needed a shot in the arm.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, listen. After the guy who held it beforehand, man, I think there was going to take a real level of work by any wrestler to be able to save whatever the fuck that last guy did.
Yeah, so it's this big upgrade, big upgrade as far as big match quality from Adam Cole. I think we'll see that going forward. I thought this match was good. I like the story it told. Only problem I had with this match, way too many fucking Panama Sunrises.
There was a lot of them, yes.
Dude,
even Daniel Garcia did it. And Daniel Garcia had his own, and he hit the boom,
and that's what I'm saying. 1 each, okay, is enough. I think he hit him with 3 at some point, and then he finally put them away. That's the only small gripe I had. I thought it was a good match. I like that they're telling the story about Daniel Garcia. I think it sets him up in a couple ways from other things we'll talk about.
There was a great video on social, dude. There was a great video on social of Daddy Magic was furious.
Yes, because he said you didn't need to beat him. You had already gave him a shot. Why did you wrestle him 3rd time? It was amazing. It was amazing. I thought Daddy Magic is so good at those pre-tapes and stuff like that.
Oh, dude.
Again, someone you have to keep around because he can bring out emotion when it's needed. I thought this was a good match, but and we got a new champion, and I think it's going to set up a new setup.
Yeah, no, it's going to give, like you said, a shot in the arm to the TNT Championship, and I think Adam Cole is just the guy.
And it's been pretty much an exclusive Collision title. It's pretty much in a way.
Adam Cole is one of those few guys now that you could have wrestle with the TNT Championship on the on Dynamite. Yeah. I love Daniel Garcia to death, but I just don't feel like he's not at the level of an Adam Cole.
He's getting there, and I got an idea for him later. Yeah.
For sure. Next, the International Championship 3-way match between Kenny Omega, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Ricochet. God damn, like Floyd said that the match between the match between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe was his match of the night. This was mine. This was mine.
Again, I I don't know 100%, but I think I dozed off on Adam Cole because my energy came
Sydney,
back.
dude, Sydney fell asleep, unfortunately, and he was so mad when she found out she did, too, because she was just like, ugh, and she came back, and then she was like, during the main event, she's like, did I really sleep through that? Fuck me. And she was so mad that she did, so she watched it back the next morning.
Yeah, so I kind of woke up after the last match, because I watched the end of the last match for this match, so I had a little bit more energy for this match.
Yeah, but this was fucking such a good match. This was so good. The goddamn usage of Ricochet's bald head will continue to be one of the funniest things in AEW. I love the moment where he's trying to dive out to the outside and Speedball smacks his bald head and just says ball. Kenny does the same thing, and then they both do it at the same fucking time. It's so good. It's so fucking good. With how cocky and arrogant Ricochet is, it's so funny.
I am tired of this anti-ball agenda, okay? As a proud, silky smooth, bald man, I'm saying, stop hitting them in the head. This is discrimination against the bald and the beautiful.
I'm telling you now, right now, man, you're going to need to go ahead and next picture you get with Ricochet, you both need to be rubbing your heads.
Yes, we are the bald and the beautiful. I'm sorry that we look good without hair. I apologize for that. You can't pull it off. That sucks for you. But me, Ricochet, Dax, the beautiful man that is Don Callis, bald is the best.
There you go. Honestly, I'm not saying anything against that.
Shout out to my bald brother in Social Suplex, James Boyd.
Boom.
Jeremy Donovan went heel on us and grew hair. But my bald brother, James Boyd, shout out.
Yeah, shout out. The rest of this match, man, though, was just absolutely spot after spot. Unbelievable, great stuff. There's a moment where Speedball is hit with a fireman's carry slam by Ricochet onto Kenny Omega, who's laying on the railing, and Ricochet just comes off. It's just like, can't be bothered after he did it, which was amazing. Ricochet did the what I can only describe as the Rock commentary spot, where Rock gets on the commentary mic and he's talking shit, blah blah blah, and then he gets popped in the mouth. That's exactly what Ricochet did. He's talking shit, and then he just gets lasered with a kick by Mike Bailey, and he gets on. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm really sorry about him. I'm gonna need to take care of. Someone's got to do something about him." I don't know what he calls the move, but the move where he does Speedball does the pose, and then he does the 450 to slam him on the knees. When he did that on the apron, I was like, your kneecap should have just blown up. You should not be able to walk right now with doing a spot like that. That looked like it fucking sucked. That spot was just crazy to me. I really, really loved Mike Bailey and the work that he did in this match. He was a guy that I'm not too familiar with, but he was wrestling his ass off. Kenny Omega, of course, is Kenny goddamn Omega, and Ricochet is the best version of Ricochet right now. I would say this is his best character. I love the Karate Kid thing. I know a lot of people were making fun of it, but I thought it was great. I loved how the commentators picked up immediately on it. And dude, it was just so goddamn good, man. It was just so physical.
The spot they caught with Ricochet sitting at the announce table and then got kicked in the face. I don't know if you said that. I'm sorry.
No,
yeah, that was amazing. And everything people did on the internet with it is amazing. Yes. That should be a part of Mike. That should be part of Speedball Mike Bailey's opening video is him kicking Ricochet.
Just the video of that kick.
Yeah, yes. And shit, if they want to do a little mini feud with them, Ricochet's just pissed off about him getting kicked like that,
Absolutely. And then Ricochet hits the shooting star press on Kenny Omega, but he kicks out. And that's when Mike Bailey gets that crane kick, but then that's when immediately Omega comes in, breaks up the pin with a V-trigger directly on target. And then there's an avalanche one-winged angel from Kenny Omega onto Ricochet, which was crazy. And Speedball's tied up in the tree of woe, can't get to the pin, stop the pin. And Kenny Omega gets the pin, retains the title, retains the International Championship. And as if you weren't already fired up about that match to begin with, cue the Rainmaker and cue the Continental Champion, Kazuchika Okada, having a stare down in the middle of the ring, and you're just like, motherfucker, we're so close. Few months time, and we're gonna get Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada in the States, and it's gonna be fucking insane. It's gonna be amazing. Match of the night for me. Love this. Loved everybody involved. I thought everyone wrestled their asses off. Made a lot of big movements out of Speedball Mike Bailey, who I think can have a lot of growth into, and you'll see him, I'm sure, used a lot. He's really, really solid. You'll see him involved pretty consistently, I would hope to see, because he's just really good. And like I said, Ricochet's doing his best stuff right now. Him and the way that he's carrying himself, it's fun. It's got character to it. It's entertaining. It genuinely bothers people. And I'm good with it, man. Like I said, this is exactly what Ricochet should be doing.
He again, I talk about casting. He's perfectly cast in his role right now. He is executing it to perfection. He is amazing. This match was great. I to me sometimes, when you're covering stuff and, I don't like a certain act or a certain wrestler, I try to take that part out of it and just look at the match. This was an excellent three-way match. I thought Speedball held up well. He's an exciting wrestler for a lot of people, and this match was really, really good. So I want to give a shout out that a moment with the kick, and I want to especially show respect to anybody that allows this man to kick you in the face with his bare feet.
Dude, it scares the fuck out of me every time.
No, it's just disgusting because feet are disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like,
put some boots on.
People have been walking around all day, and now you're just going to hit me with your nasty-ass feet? I'd have to see you watch those things before the match started. I don't know. And I even say I get so caught up in it because I just, I am not a feet person. That they're disgusting to me. So, no, it throws me off every time. I saw him kick in the face, and I was like, okay. So we all know Speedball's the heel here, right? Yeah, we're not wearing shoes. No, very entertaining match. Shout out to this match was really good.
Shouts out. And then we get to the main event that everybody's mad about. And honestly, it's a lot of the same stuff that I said at Revolution, for the most part. Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. And yeah, I mean, it was what it was. I thought there were some really good moments in here. Swerve stomped through the table. I thought was great. I love the interactions between Nana and Marina Shafir. I thought that was great.
But this was at the end of a very long night. This could have been a 6-star classic. I was fading. Mm-hmm. I saw it was 10. This match started with 10 minutes till midnight my time. 10 minutes to 11 my time, so it was 10 minutes to midnight on the East Coast.
Yes.
And it started then. I was like, oh, this is going to be a short match. Then they go out and have a regular length match. I was pissed. I'm trying to, Swerve is one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster, but I am fucking exhausted.
Yep.
and I want to enjoy this match, but I am so fucking tired. Dude, y'all got to cap this shit at 4 hours. I'm just saying, or start an hour earlier. I am all for starting the fucking show at 6 Eastern or whatever. Start an hour earlier. People have to work on Monday. That's my most annoying thing about it. I have my thoughts on the match. I was annoyed that it was so long.
And it's a main event that not a lot of people were crazy excited for.
So you're about to do this ending that most of your fan base is not gonna like, and then you make them stay up an extra half an hour to get it.
Yes.
So okay.
Match itself took a little while to get going. And when it did get going too, it felt like a carry job. I know it wasn't a carry job because Moxley's good, and I know he's a good wrestler, but it felt like a carry job. It felt like Swerve was doing everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I said, I like Nana and Shafir getting involved, and I love the work they did. They're fighting onto a ladder, and that's when they do the Swerve stomp through the Spanish announce table, which is great. Ref gets taken out, and that's when Hangman Page comes out. And Hangman's out there, and everyone's like, oh my goodness. He gets on the apron, looks like he's going to hit the buckshot lariat. Death Riders then just come down. They swarm Hangman. He fights them off. He hits the dead eye on Moxley. And that's when the Ops come out. They even the playing field. They're fighting with the Death Riders, moving them back there. Swerve gets a steel chair and hits Mox in the head with it. Hits the Swerve Stomp. Looks like he's got the match won. And then the lights go out. And everyone is like, oh, dear God. And they come on. And I've been free from them for months. I have been free. I've had room to just enjoy my company that I like and enjoy the wrestling I like. I've been free. I've had so much peace and tranquility in my lifetime. And now I got Tweedledee and Tweedledipshit.
My piece of my heart returned tonight. That night. Piece of my heart returned tonight.
Young Bucks come out and they hit the BTE trigger and knock Swerve out. Mox covers Swerve, gets the pinfall win, retains the title. Young Bucks leave in the crowd. Mox is champion, and that's the finish of your show. The champion that everyone wants to drop the title, or wants him to drop the title as soon as possible, wins due to shenanigans by a tag team who is fucking insufferable at this point in time. I know who has their diehard fans. I'm not trying to hear that from them right now. The Young Bucks are fucking insufferable.
I want to make this clear.
That's where I'm at.
I like this ending.
Go ahead.
Because I don't think Swerve was ever going to win. I never thought Swerve was going to win.
I didn't either. No,
yeah,
no, that's the thing too.
How you did it?
We were both in the same mindset too, because everyone got so fucking mad. But I was like, you really, really thought on Dynasty? Like, you thought this is how this was going to go, dude? They're not letting Mox drop the title until it's like Darby or whoever the fuck they decide to have it be. Like, it's just what we're just under resignation. We said it should be Swerve just to get this shit done and over with, but we knew it wasn't going to be Swerve. We knew it.
So, that being said, let's get into this. I think I went off on something similar now that I think about it, that people don't like Mox right now.
Mm-mm.
And you're not supposed to. And people are like, well, it's not the right kind of heat. It's the go-away heat. Let me tell you. They have been establishing this is what Mox is going to be since his first promo as world champion.
Mm-hmm.
He hates what AEW has become. He hates everything about AEW. That's the thing. So what did he do? He took away the music you like. He took it away. The big colorful bright ass shirts people wear, fuck that. I got a white shirt that says Death Riders on it. And it took them months to get that shirt. Every match he's won, everybody's acting like this man forgot how to wrestle. No. The gimmick is that he hates AEW. The gimmick is that he doesn't care about entertaining matches. He just wants to win. That's the gimmick. All this dude is doing is excellently executing the gimmick. You might not like it. I cannot force you to like anything.
Mm-hmm.
But to say somehow Jon Moxley that has been doing professional wrestling for God knows how long, has forgotten how to wrestle and forgotten how to entertain you?
No.
He hasn't. Every time Swerve started trying to get something excited, Mox took him down for another rest hold. That's on purpose. You're not supposed to want to cheer Mox. Mm-hmm. I have went on this rant on this show forever, how AEW is the hardest place in the history to book a heel. MJF was one of the best heels I've ever seen. He was so good at being a heel, people started cheering him. FTR was heels. They then had a great match with the Briscoes where they were heels. Fans just started cheering them, so they had to turn them. The only type of heel that's going to work in AEW effectively is the one that the Bucks played last year, where they were putting on not exciting matches on purpose, and now Jon Moxley's doing it as the champion. This is on purpose. This is by design. This man didn't forget how to wrestle. You have all the other matches on the show for your entertainment, but his thing is that he hates AEW. If he hates AEW, what does he look like coming out there wrestling a classic upspace style AEW match where everybody's on the feed saying, this is awesome, No! You're supposed to hate his matches. Because it's supposed to make you hate him more to where you can't wait for the guy to beat him. And you know what? You were kind of okay with it because he beat OC and he beat Jay White. They don't really matter to you.
Right.
Hope. Yeah, it's fine. He's not an AEW guy.
That was where I saw the flip happening too. Yeah, because people were fine with it too. Because that's the thing too. I have not switched up on this since from the moment it started too. I've thought this has been boring and bad since it started.
Correct.
So. But yeah, but like that Cope match at Revolution though, that's where I started hearing the little bit of the stuff perking up, because that was the one where they had the cash in that didn't work, that like basically everyone was like, so why did that even happen in the first place? And then people were questioning the booking, and that's when everything was like, oh boy, here we go. You got to make sure you know what you're doing at this point in time, because people are getting sick of this.
If you are not pissed off after a Jon Moxley title defense, he has not done his job effectively. Period. Ric Flair's whole career was built on this, being the heel champion that barely kept his title. Dude, I'm not even, like, this is NWO, this is Bloodline. You can go through the history of wrestling. And you know what the thing about it is? They always lead to profitable times for the company. It's tried and true. You put a dominant heel champion that everybody hates. Then when you finally get that guy, generally it picks up business in general.
Because people pay to see him lose. People are getting mad that AEW is doing professional wrestling. That's all that's happening here. It really is that simple. I've seen Claudio as a good guy work for a pop. Running around, handing out forearms and doing that stuff, and the crowd gets doing this is awesome. Does he do that shit anymore? No. The only thing he still does is the swing.
Yeah. Pac, same way. Willie Yuta, I've seen him work as a good guy and people get over. No, they all are collectively working a style to make you hate them. And it's working. Because let me ask you the same question I asked my friend. What is more likely, that all four of them forgot how to wrestle exactly 8 months ago? Or is this planned? What is the more logical conclusion?
Right.
Like, no, they all know how to wrestle. If you want to put Mox out there and say, hey, go out there and put out an amazing 4-star match, he could do it. Because it's easy. He's been doing it for years.
Sure.
But no, this is what they want. They want you to hate them. Now, if you don't like it, that's cool. I cannot make you like anything. But this is just pro wrestling to me. I'm not even mad. But you know why everybody's upset? They beat someone they like. It's Swerve. He's one of, if you're looking at the AEW pillars now, he is one of the pillars of AEW. They beat someone, not even that they like, they beat someone, he beat someone that they love Swerve at his pay-per-view. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that is what Heat is. Sami Zayn losing in Montreal. Drew McIntyre losing in the Castle. I know I'm using WWE things because that's the most recent examples that I have. All these things, I kept hearing everybody online, oh, I'm going to go quit watching. And attendance was going up. Ticket sales was going up. They were selling merch. But everybody was somehow quitting watching. And then they finally found the guy to take the title away from him. And guess what? He's the number one guy in the company right now. Selling the most merch by a long shot. Selling the most merch, not just by his company, on Fanatics. So what is AEW working to? They are working to that. They are trying to build their next star that massive amounts of people pay to see. Whether it's Swerve, whether it's Hangman, whether it's Hot Spray, whether it's Darby, whoever the fuck it is. You gotta hate it so you can love the eventual when he loses. And it's gonna be beautiful when it happens, and I hope I'm there. But it is what it is. And I'm just saying, just stick with it. Keep watching. Because the one thing I even suggested in January, and you were there for it, of course, Austin, is okay, the main event's not that great, but make the rest of the show dope. And for the most part, rest of the show is dope.
Yeah, no, it was honestly really solid pretty much all the way through. Only thing was just Jericho and Bandito.
Only thing I would adjust to doing, and this would probably work, couldn't work or wouldn't work with the results. The only thing I would suggest is put Mox in earlier in the night and build to another main event.
They just don't put, I mean, they're old school. They put the title on last.
And that's what I'm saying. Dude, I think you put this match title in the middle of the match with the Young Bucks giving the double knee in the middle of the show. That's fine. And then you end it with Kenny, Speedball, and Ricochet. And I think there's a whole different thought on how this show goes and how people did it. But the goal is heat. The goal is to piss you off. Your last moment is Moxley barely winning again. And who he did it? Your boys, your Fearos, the EVPs, the people that brought you to AEW. The guy that created AEW helping the guy that hates AEW win his match. There is nothing more devastatingly heel than that. Again, you might not like it. I get it. I hope it improves for you. But guess what? This is wrestling. This is generally how you draw. This is generally how you sell tickets. I'm sorry that it happened to Swerve. I want Swerve to be the champion. I wanted his title reign to last longer. I was pissed that he lost to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
They have a plan, and they're executing it. And the worst thing you can do as a company in any sort of business is pivot too hard from something. If you have a plan and you have an idea, whether it works or not, let it play out.
And unfortunately, they for the main title though, like that's the thing. It's like you're kind of bound to what they're. Like I said, this has been set in stone for a while.
Yes.
So they can pivot with something like Mox with. They can pivot with some smaller things like with MJF originally going after Jeff Jarrett and then leading that into him going after Hangman. We can pivot in that sort of way, but not this heavily.
Old school, this is what would have happened. The referee would have got knocked out by Marina. Swerve would have hit the Swerve stunt. Another referee that came down, caught the 1, 2, 3. Swerve would have left with the title. And then on Wednesday, they just said, hey, Swerve didn't actually win. And the title would go back to Moxley.
Right.
And it's just like, pick your poison. You know what I mean?
Well, that one poison doesn't involve the Young Bucks, so I would pick that poison.
Yes. Whatever you decide to do, I'm just saying, understand, this is not on accident. They didn't fall into this. This is an executed plan. Apparently, Jon Moxley has a lot of control over it, but he understands it. He understands what he's trying to execute. Whether you like it or not, it's like you hire your coach and you let him run his offense. You know what I mean? And hopefully it works out. You don't come in and say, well, I know you run a spread formation, but we're going to come run in the eye now using real sports. No, you let him execute, and at the end you decide, hey, this sucks. We're never doing that again or whatever. But right now, there is a very passionate fan base online that hated everything about this main event. And
oh yeah, they're very, 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 very mad.
I'm not gonna pretend they don't exist. I'm not gonna pretend they don't exist. But I'm also gotta understand, if you're pissing off wrestling fans, generally you're doing your job. In the art of this is when you get to that edge of where you're pissing them off to the point that they're going to turn off the TV. You have to catch that sweet spot before they do that and then give them the title reign. WWE fans, I think, will hang around longer than AEW fans. And I don't know how long you got. I don't know if this stretches out to July. I don't know. I don't know how long you have. But it's an art, not a science. And there is this feel where you'll see these hardcore fans like, I didn't watch tonight. And you know what I didn't see today? That. The hardcore fan base where I was still in my Discord was still active, still people tweeting about it, and they were still just as active online for Dynamite. So everybody that said, I ain't watching this shit no more. No, you like it even though you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, that's about all we can say at this point, man. That's about all we can say.
All I'm saying is it's on purpose. I just don't want people to think they're accidentally putting out shit that sucks. No,
it's not like they're not listening. Come on.
No, this is working to a point, and it's working to a pop, and hopefully you'll think it's the greatest thing ever.
There you go. So we'll move quickly over now to Dynamite, which just finished up at Baltimore. We opened up the show. First of all, it led with a Death Riders video package where Moxley goes, the single greatest roster of pure talent ever assembled under one roof is here every week on Dynamite. So why can't any of these guys get their act together? They excuse themselves, seek comfort without addressing the problem. You don't want it? We'll scorch the earth before we give a single inch. And he goes, Matt and Nick Jackson have returned. Goes and just says, basically, I don't even recognize you two anymore, so you better be very careful before you make any moves. Basically being like, step off towards the Young Bucks, like, don't try to stick your nose where it doesn't belong, because God knows Death Riders, they're not aligning themselves with the Young Bucks. It makes no sense, which is why I was, like, more so, like I said, everything I had a problem with was I just didn't like the Young Bucks being there, because I thought them getting involved was just cheap. So that was really the only problem I had. Moxley retaining it the way that he did, I ain't got nothing else to say about it. That's the same stuff I've said for the last few months.
I lived through, and again, two different companies, but I had to live through Solo Sikoa getting kicked out of the ring and then running back and still costing him I got a title.
Oh, I know. I just don't want to see the Young Bucks.
I feel you.
I hadn't seen them in months. You know how happy I was.
Yeah,
I've been so happy.
I swore when they came back they were going to come back face in my mind.
Oh, everyone was saying that
they were going to come back face, and the fact that they came back and are still the same assholes, I dig it.
Glad you do. The opening match was Jon Moxley facing Katsuyori Shibata, which I thought was a good match. I liked how Shibata was able to get some strikes in there. Thought it was fine. Honestly, the match was relatively pretty quick, and that led into the more promo-y levels of stuff after the match. Mm-hmm. So, like, match itself was just kind of there just to open it up and get Moxley out there.
So I'm watching something where it's clearly, I'm not going to give the profile any type of pub, but it's clearly, they say a low-card jobber not selling a pile driver to your world champion, talking about
Shibata.
Moxley pile driving Shibata, and then getting straight up. And I laughed because that is what happens when you drop in on a show that you don't understand.
Correct, that you don't watch and you don't know.
Shibata has a metal plate in his head, so the pile driver doesn't work on him. That's the story. That was it.
That's all it takes.
I mean, it's professional wrestling. It's Lex Luger hitting you with the loaded forearm, so pile drivers don't work on him. And he was like, well, yeah, so whatever. I mean, it's just, he got out. And it was just like, oh, yeah. And I didn't even think about it because I watched the show. I know who Shibata is. I know the badass that the wrestler is. Yeah, I can buy it. But yeah, if you drop in, low-card jobber. Low-card jobber? What?
Yeah, it's not the case.
What? You calling Katsuyori Shibata a low-card jobber? Fuck right on off. Dude. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the match. This is just more of that, just wrestling kind of thing. And
oh, sure.
And Mox just won, He doesn't have to cheat against everybody. He can just win, He did gouge eyes, but in general, he just won.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
After the match, that's when the Young Bucks came out. Moxley and Marina walk away, and they just kind of look at the Young Bucks like, Nick proceeds to be like, give it up for your world champion, Jon Moxley, and show certain respect for the founding fathers of AEW. And everyone's like, the world's wondering why did we cost Swerve, and we've got a couple good reasons, and we did it for our good friend Hangman Adam Page. Said you're welcome, and said this is what you wanted all along. You never wanted Swerve to be the champion ever again, and we did that for you because we don't forget who our friends are. And Matthew then proceeds to say how he wishes that they would have stuck around to hear this, but Moxley and the Death Riders, what we did for you, we consider a peace offering because we got no issues with you, and we hope you got no issues with us. We realized when we were sitting at home, we got more in common than you think. You want to change the world just like us, and we were impressed watching you because you did what we couldn't do. You took over AEW, which, first of all, can I add about how ridiculously stupid it is that people that are supposedly founding fathers and EVPs of a company can't find a way to take it over, but some bald guy pretending to be a member of fucking Die Hard was able to do it faster than you? I'm just going to say, a little bit funny. Just thinking about that, I'm even saying for a little bit.
You gotta think about Mox. He's a lot more ruthless than the Young Bucks are, and that's the whole thing.
I mean,
he literally suffocated a man with a bag. He went further.
I'm 1,000% with you there. I'm 1,000%. If you're an EVP of a company, you should find a way to be able to take over a company much faster than just a guy with a paper bag.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. Plastic bag, I should say. So he said, last Sunday was our elevator pitch to you and the Death Riders, because could you imagine the team synergy if the Elite and the Death Riders were together as one? And he asked them to come out there so we could discuss. And I was just imagining Matt going, picture this, Jon Moxley versus Jack Perry. I'm going to stop you right there. Dead on arrival. So as they wait for them to come out, Kenny Omega comes out. Here we go. This is the first time Kenny Omega has talked with the Young Bucks since he announced he had diverticulitis and they knocked him out when he was going to the ambulance.
You know what's awesome? You know what's awesome about this? Hey, I know this doesn't happen, but I didn't forget. Yes. Dude, wrestling, man. People go away and come back and be like, oh, yeah. Like, and not have beef with the person that they hated. I love that Kenny Omega's like, yeah, it's still fuck you.
Oh, yeah. So you did this all for your friends, huh? Mox and Hanger? You didn't forget me, but I remember the last time. And he brought that up. And then he goes, when I came back, it was for the legacy and safety of this company and not for revenge. We were trying to restore the feeling. Last time we saw you on AEW, and you were shredding some documents. And that's when they like he had a reference to like them buying a chair with their face on it, basically calling them the Young Cucks. And that's when he goes and says, they love bragging about their money. You love tearing up receipts of private jets and other luxury items. But it doesn't matter, because if it wasn't for the Death Riders, you two almost killed the company I gave my life and soul for. And now he proceeds to immediately, after basically calling them like his dogs, and they took a dookie on the floor while he was gone, and then they got the crowd to chant dookie, he decides to go in there and he's going to go fight the Young Bucks. And that's when Okada comes out, and that's when he gets into the ring. Swerve's music hits, and they get in the ring. They start chasing after Okada and the Bucks. Swerve and Omega give a little respect to each other. And that's when Swerve goes, it's buck hunting season. And that's when Swerve gets ambushed by the Bastard Pack, which leads into that match, which we'll get into. But Floyd, your thoughts on this, like these promo segments, like leading into, following the opening match leading into this one.
I love it. I mean, to me, this is how you differentiate between WWE and you. Because, you get the 20-minute promo segment that just leads to the person walking away or mic dropping and stuff. Their promo segment led to a match, directly to a match. You couldn't like zone out or do everything. It was like, okay, a match followed up. I did like that. I love the Young Bucks reasoning. Of course, I don't want you to beat me up, so let's be friends. I mean, that's in essence what it was, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, like, I don't want you to beat me up, so let's be friends. I love Kenny's like, fuck you. I'm going to mess you up. And, of course, we get another Okada Kenny tease. And it's like, they're not going to announce Okada and Kenny in at All In yet, but they're telling you you're getting Okada and Kenny at All In. So buy your tickets. You know what I mean? They're telling you without telling you. I mean, they got a lot of show to do before then, so they can't be like, well, Kenny Omega's not going to lose his title for the next 3 months. Or Okada's not going to lose their title for 3 months. They got to keep that out there, but they're letting you know what's coming.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's what that is. Unfortunately, like I said, I thought everything about this segment was pretty damn good. I thought Kenny was a little awkward at some points with his promo. Like I said, with him kind of doing little joke shots at the Young Bucks, I thought was a bit awkward for the most part. Everything else I was all for, honestly, what he was saying. But it felt like there were some points where he was kind of just like...
I don't think Kenny could ever be just 100% serious.
No, he can't.
He's not his personality. You know what I mean? He's you know, it's like... the idea of just sitting there listening to someone talk probably sounds boring to him. So he's like, I need to throw jokes in there to try to, you know. And
also, too, the fact that he showed up like he literally was just finishing grinding Tekken 8. Yeah. I was just like, brother, man, like, we out here, it's Dynamite. It's right after you just had an incredible match, and you're just here in your fucking hoodie and your gym shorts.
He was playing Cole in the back. He saw the Young Bucks. He had to press pause. The Street Fighter matches at 1-1. He had to come out there, do some shit, and then he had to go back and get back on his game.
There you go. I was going to say he was 1,000% gaming backstage.
Yes, absolutely.
We then, unfortunately, get into the match that led right into this, which was the Bastard Pack versus Swerve Strickland, which didn't even really get a chance to go because fucking... our boy Pac, man, this dude I feel so fucking bad for. He takes a power bomb, basically a buckle bomb, and it looks like as his feet come down, his ankle's just fucked. He rolls to the outside. Immediately, Doc Sampson's checking on him, and it doesn't look good.
And he clearly tells the ref to go home.
Yes, he's like, we're going home, and basically he fights his way into the ring, and he's hopping on one leg. Swerve hits the house call, and then the Swerve stomp, and then quickly gets the pinfall. We go home. Pac's hurt. We hope it's not serious, but it looked pretty bad. And in fact, he couldn't put any weight on his ankle is not good. And it fucking sucks. Because this dude's dealt with injury before, and it sucked. And it's obviously a member of the Death Riders who are in the lead storyline of AEW. And they just got challenged to a trios match in the main event of this show. So that fucking sucks. You know?
Yeah. No.
We're very much in a spot where we're like, oh, this is the worst possible timing. But we hope he's okay. We hope it's just a scare, but it didn't look great. But it fucking sucks.
I want to say that. I want to say that mostly is that I want him to get better soon. Hopefully, it's more of a hairline fracture than a complete break. You know, all the things. I hope it works out, but it puts him in a weird situation. But there's an easy replacement. There's an easy person to add. Just move right on into the Blackpool Combat Club. It's already set up. It's already set up perfectly. The storyline makes sense. His name is Jack Perry. I know this hurts Alston's soul, but I'm thinking of the way the story. Mark's like, I don't care what people think about you. I like you, kid. The last time Jack Perry and the Bucks were together was at a New Japan show, and he told him he was pissed off of him for leaving. Him coming back and joining up with the Blackpool Combat Club instead of going back with the Elite, it works everywhere. It just works. Now, he was dressing like the Blackpool Combat Club before the Blackpool Combat Club started, or what the Death Rider. He was dressing like a Death Rider before the Death Rider started dressing like a Death Rider.
Boring? Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. With the leather jacket and all that stuff, to me, story-wise, he's the makes the most sense. Now, do you know who I would love to replace if this is a long-term injury with Pac? Everything I'm hoping, I hope it's nothing. But the way I saw that ankle, it's not nothing. So the other person I like to fit in this role, based on how the match ended Sunday, is Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia, I think, would be very, very good.
What was the story of the match? He didn't have his killer instinct.
Yes, he was trying to find that killer instinct, and he held up. He held up.
You know who's gonna teach him to just drop him on his head? The Death Riders.
Honestly, if Daddy Magic's like, listen, man, I can't help you. You got to work with these guys in because they are getting people better.
I've taken you as far as I can.
They are bringing the best out of everybody. That's their whole goal. And I don't care if you protested this. You need this.
You need this. And there you go.
That makes so much sense. So much more sense than Chuckle Fuck McGee.
No. You hate Jack Perry, but literally the storyline makes most sense with Jack Perry. I know you hate him, but like I said, mine is not whether I like them or not. I'm just saying, well, who person can fit in there that literally goes with everything that's happened already in AEW, and that's Jack Perry.
But again, this would lead to the idea that the Elite and the Death Riders would work together. I don't buy that for
No. He's saying fuck the Elite because they abandoned him. And I'm going in with I'm going with Death Riders because the Elite abandoned him. Because, they lost their match and just bounced. And then he lost his title because they bounced.
He lost his title because he sucks.
No, they were supposed to have his back and help him keep with the title. That was the whole friendship reason. Yeah, there you go.
I ain't adding anything more to that. If Floyd is making sense to you and you agree with him, lovely stuff.
Oh, dude, no. Again, when I do this stuff, I'm talking about this is, again, a TV show, and I'm trying to make the story make sense inside of what they're doing. Sure. I don't care who it is. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Perry either. I'm hoping.
I'm literally at the point of he could not show up on my TV again, and I would be.
Yeah. Now, if that man wants to, if that man has been away, I haven't seen any pictures of him, and he's taking his vitamins. About 20, 30
Maybe
pounds worth of vitamin. Yeah.
Maybe he's grown an inch or a foot.
I don't need you to get taller. I've always said this. You can be short. You just gotta be, for lack of a better word, thick. I know there's a sexual connotation that goes with the word thick, but that is not what I mean this time. I it's just you can be Taz. Taz was 5'7.5", but he was so filled out. He looked like he could kill anyone. And that's what I always said. It's just Jack Perry was short and he was slight. That's not a good combination in wrestling. Not for me, but again, I hope your favorite wrestler comes back because I love Angry Austin.
Watch it.
I love Angry Austin. No, I love Angry Austin. It's my favorite. I love when you get on and you fuck this storyline. I hate them. I love it.
Right, and I'm at a level of resignation right now with the Death Riders, so it's more so you need the guy to really get my blood boil to show up.
That's heat, baby. That's heat.
Well, look, we'll see how it plays out. But more than anything,
you're gonna bring him back and put a title on him immediately. Oh yeah, that's your dream, right?
Oh sure, yeah. But more than anything, we just hope that Pac is okay. Because, again, it fucking sucks. That dude has had so many tough injuries at the worst possible time. And I hope nothing but the best for him. I hope he's feeling all right. So I know it's fucking terrible, though, and it's a freak spot. So hopefully he heals up, though, more than anything.
Absolutely.
We then have the backstage interview with Hangman Page where he storms past him looking for Swerve. And he's basically, if Swerve thinks about getting involved with me next week, I will pick up where we left off. He tells Nana that, and Nana goes basically, I wanted to tell you for the last year, I can't speak for Swerve, but I really regret. And Paige is just no, stop that, and just storms off. Again, he's refusing to just accept that. He does not want this. He does not.
It's so booked real.
Yes.
Because sometimes people wrong you, and they won't apologize. But you're not there yet to accept the apology.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that's where he's at right now. I heard you, but I don't want to not be mad at you yet. I want to still hate you. The hate of you has been driving me for a year, almost 2, and you're trying to take that away from me. Yeah, I love it.
It's really, really good. We then have a 8-man tag match. It's the $400,000 explosive 8-man tag between Speedball Mike Bailey, Will Ospreay, Mark Briscoe, and Kevin Knight versus Ricochet, the Beast Mortos, Action Andretti, and Lio Rush. And this is a lot of fun, honestly. I thought this was a lot of fun. I thought everyone was able to just do really, really good stuff too. And a lot of young guys in this match, a lot of guys that are trying to work their way up there. And then obviously Ospreay in there too, just being a badass as he is. Same with Ricochet. I love the little promo they had beforehand of them talking about the money. And for whatever reason, the baby faces are basically looking like they're about to go and hunt Pennywise the Clown in the sewers where they're doing their promo. And they talk about what they're going to do with the money when they win it. And they get to Briscoe and he's like, I'm actually going to diversify my portfolio. And just fucking kills me. So funny. But yeah, it was really, really fun, honestly. I love so much how Ricochet, again, got jumped, and the way they all jumped him with the slapping of his bald head was fucking funny. And I love just the work of this match, man. It just felt really good. Kevin Knight, again, was able to get a lot of really big moments in this, too. Mortos was getting, like, they were really going after him in this one, too. But eventually Ospreay gets the hidden blade and he gets the victory for the babyfaces. They get the win. It was fun. Like I said, I'm never really huge on the 8-man tags because I feel like they're too much, but AEW knows how to do them and make them fun. And this was really, really fun. And honestly, we needed a fun match after the unfortunate injury that was suffered by Pac. We needed to get a little perked up a bit. So
if AEW has a signature, it is the multi-man match. Like these 4-on-4, 6-on-6 random guys. These are the matches, and I've stated this so much time it feels redundant. These are the matches I hated as a wrestling fan. And it was funny because, you know, the money was on the line, and I remember watching a shoot interview with Kevin Steen a long time ago talking about how he hated working with Jim Cornette, and the reason he did is because he's like, you put up $10,000 and I'll put up $10,000. That's the stupidest idea. And like I said, it was like 10 or 15 years ago that I saw this, right? And then in the year of our Lord 2025, Tony Khan is doing a $400,000 match. I love it. I love it. Because fuck everything. Because if you put on a good, entertaining match, it literally doesn't matter what the stipulation is. This match could have not had the $400,000 or whatever it was on, and it would still been a banger. But that just added a little something to it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no. And again, it was just fun.
And Kevin Knight, you're featured. You're being featured.
You're being featured big time.
AEW, again, and Chris Jericho makes fun of it with the TV time segment. But TV time is important, especially when you're trying to establish yourself and build your fan base. So them keep putting him on TV is great.
Yeah, and he's shown out too when they put him on there.
And how did it end? Will Ospreay hidden blade. Boom.
Like he do.
I don't know why it had to be Beast Mortos that took it. I don't know why Action Andretti.
I don't know why it couldn't have been Action Andretti.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why my boy Mortos got to keep taking L's, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, that dude's badass, man. I want people to put respect on Beast Mortos.
Dude, I love Beast Mortos. I have never seen a match from his I didn't like.
Same. That dude's a fucking freak of nature.
Yes.
But Hurt Syndicate had their celebration for retaining their tag team championships, and that's when MJF shows up to join that, and his little pose next to them, I swear to God, it looked like Shelton was about to crack.
Yeah, it definitely did, because
it was so fucking funny.
Yeah, one of these people don't fit into the picture.
Yeah, you think the homeboy think he one of us?
Hey, now I gotta tell you, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I need MJF's shoes. Did you notice his shoes?
I did see the shoes, yes.
Yes, I want those shoes. I'm not even a big dress up, but I would dress up to rock those shoes.
Fair enough.
I'd rock a suit.
They didn't click for me. They stood out to me, but you know, if you're going to make them work, man, make them work.
Let me tell you, if you know anything about me and my shoe game, I like my shoes loud. I like you to have to pay attention to them. So that was right in Floyd's wheelhouse.
There you go. So he walks out in those shoes, and MJF proceeds to go and say, "We hurt people. We're all dripping in gold. You're welcome. Tony Khan wanted to put me in the Owen, and no, I don't work smarter. I work smarter, not harder. I'm not going to sweat my balls off in a tournament like that. I'm rolling with the Syndicate because I get to cut the line. I scratched your backs. Now you're going to go ahead and help little old me." And Lashley tells him to shut up because everyone saw what you did because you tried to help us, but you didn't get the job done. It's another reason why we don't need you. He's like, "Don't point at me, Bob." He just calls him that. So he says, "You know what?" MVP tells him everyone to chill. And he says, "Listen, in order for you to join the Syndicate, you got to get 3 thumbs up. It's a democracy. You guys already know how I feel." Shelton gives the thumbs down, and they leave the ring. MJF's frustrated, and he's staying in the ring. Still can't find a way to get what he's looking for out of the Hurt Syndicate. So,
yeah, I thought the reveal of MJF's sinister plan was going to be tonight, and it was not. And I'm okay with that.
They're still holding off on it. Yeah.
They're so okay with that. I see a bunch of people guessing he's going to find him a tag partner. And I'm like, first of all, this man has made it very clear. What is his goal, sir?
Oh, he wants the Triple B back.
Yeah, he wants the Triple B. He ain't trying to be a tag champion. He's like, man, what I'm going to do is help you keep your title, then you help me get my new title. So I don't think that's ultimately the goal. I think if he does anything, it's going to be to bring in his own tag team to take the belts away from them eventually. But I thought this was executed well. I'm just saying, if you go back and watch this, which, you may not, just watch MJF's face. He is just so good in everything in professional wrestling. Dude, the dude's a perfect professional wrestler because he's so good at the in-the-ring stuff, and he's so good at, like this entertaining stuff, right? And it's just like, he was like, you saw the genuine pissed off that he got left embarrassed in the ring. Because they didn't just say no. They said no and bounced and left him in the ring by himself. Just like anybody that he would do that to. So he's getting treated basically like he's treated other people.
Yeah, I mean he's getting the same sort of treatment, and he's not okay with it either. He's like, no, you don't treat me like that. Yeah. And he made sure they knew about it later on in the show too. He basically, I can mention that too. It's like he went in there and he's like, I'm goddamn MJF.
Yeah.
And and
I thought this was done well. Like,
yeah, no, he's like, I'm MJF. Why you keep treating me like I'm some punk bitch? And he's like, because they know who you are. Everyone knows who you are. Your reputation precedes you, and it's business.
Dope.
But if you get your consumer in business, you find out what they want,
and then
you give it to them. And that's all he left them with.
Because simply put, I love that the Hurt Syndicate, and whether you believe it or not, they are faces. They are good guys. They don't cheat.
Yeah. No,
they just go out there and win. They got a chant. They don't have to do it. They are good guys, right? But they're not stupid good guys that just going to trust MVP blindly. Trust MJF blindly. We've seen you screw over pretty much everybody you've been in the team with.
Correct.
So we're not just going to buy it. So I like this because this feels like it's going to extend. Like, I thought they were going to wrap it up tonight, but it looks like it's going to extend. And as long as it extends to, like, May 7th, I'm good.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, and I will say, if it gets handled before Double or Nothing, because I'm hoping that's where it sets up. You know what I mean?
And I'm just saying, I'm hoping the big reveal of MJF's sinister plot happens May 7th.
Okay.
Do you know what May 7th is, right?
I know what May 7th is.
Oh, okay. You didn't sound like you were popping on the May 7th.
No.
We want good shit to happen. We need good shit.
No, listen, Detroit gets good shit. We know
need
this.
Good shit. We
know this.
Yes.
So, there was a quick little promo backstage of Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford setting up for Collision. And then we get into the next quarterfinal match in the women's side of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. Love Thunder Rosa grabbing the sign with the women's wrestling is thriving. I loved her grabbing that sign and doing that. Because
it is. Apparently the ratings popped on Collision for the women's matches.
Yes, it did. So, this was solid. I thought this was a good showing. Tony Storm on commentary absolutely helped out a ton, I thought, too, because she was fucking hysterical. Her coming out there and immediately getting Tony Schiavone and Excalibur to break, I thought was amazing. It killed me. And yeah, it was solid. I thought it was solid. Statlander gets the win. Still love for Thunder Rosa to find a role or find something to do, because it just seems like she's still kind of just floating around as like a name that's been big in AEW in the past, but doesn't really have much going for her right now. She wrestled well though, and her and Statlander worked well together. Statlander was the move that made the most sense. But yeah, I love Thunder Rosa, and I just want her to be involved with stuff that's big, because I think she's great. But I thought this was pretty damn solid for a TV tournament match. I thought it was pretty solid.
Absolutely. I thought this was great. I thought Chris Statlander, like they were trying to get over, that she's like focused and powerful now, and she just beat Thunder Rosa, and that was great. Thunder Rosa kind of shook her hand and patted on the back after. I thought that was great because it was like, we're friends, but we got to fight. So I definitely enjoyed that. I just thought this was a good match, a good tournament match.
Yeah, it was a good TV tournament match. I thought was really solid. Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita were backstage, and they had a promo sex with Don Callis basically being like, because of all the injuries that we've had to the family, we were accepting potential new members was the only thing that they set up. So, Floyd, I will just ask you real quickly who you think could be a new member of the Don Callis family.
Oh, man, this is tough. I was trying to think of like heel tag teams that might, heel tag teams that might want to join the group. And I kept coming up blank. I'm pretty good at coming up with like things. I was just like, I couldn't even think who fits this role right now.
For some reason, the name that came, I thought Leo Rush and it could be one of them for sure.
Dude, that would go completely against Don Callis' recruiting strategy, which is Giants.
That is fair. But
that's why I was like, is he going to steal Big Bill and Ryan Keith?
I could see that.
Yeah, because, Big Phil fits in the thing, and then Brian Keith's there too.
Yeah, I could see that. No,
yeah.
I think that makes a little sense. And then we had backstage Adam Cole, the TNT champion, backstage with his buddies Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Roddy talking about how I think it's about time we have our moment, Kyle. And they're like, and you will. I stand before you, the face of TNT, your new TNT champion. This is just the start for us because we're the Paragon and that's undisputed. Basically saying things are only looking up for the Undisputed Kingdom.
I wonder if are they changing their name to the Paragon? Because if you notice, every promo before this week, they're running Undisputed shirts.
Yes.
They did not wear Undisputed shirts.
Yeah, and there's no signs of
Taven and Bennett.
Yeah. There's no signs of them right now,
So it looks like they might be pivoting from that name.
Yeah. I could see it, honestly. I could see that being the case because, at this point right now, doesn't really have any sense for them to be involved, at least at this point in time.
Yes.
So. Oh, I feel Steve's coming on. It's not coming. Shit. Moving on. The TV time with Chris Jericho. The TV time with the Learning Tree. And he's in the ring. And he's talking about how he's no longer a Ring of Honor World Champion because he lost his match. He lost his tooth. And he lost his title. Even though that's very disappointing, he gives credit to Bandito. And he said it was, of course, with the assistance of your sister and his and the intrusive insistence of his sister and his mother. And he's like, you know what, you've got family. I get it. And then I've got my family. And he brings out Big Bill and Brian Keith and wanted to talk to him. Said how they didn't win at Dynasty. And Big Bill immediately cuts him off and says, I know what you're going to say because you're angry and you have every right to be angry. I'm angry. In fact, I've been really angry recently because you need to hear this, Chris. I have the utmost respect for you. That's why I joined the Learning Tree, because I wanted to learn from you. But I did not sign up to be your punching bag whenever things go wrong. So if we're out here and you can teach us something, by all means go ahead and teach. But if we're out here so you can berate us, Just let me know right now and I'll leave. I know Brian feels the exact same way. To which Jericho goes, do you, Brian? Because that's not why I brought you out here. Because I believed in you. And I said I wanted you to win the World Tag Team Championships. And I meant it when I said that. Because I handpicked both of you to stand by me and to teach you have potential. You're future world champions. Your victories are my victories and your failures are my failures. I lost the Ring of Honor World Championship on Sunday. You weren't there. Some might say it's even your fault that I lost that match. But I'm not saying that because I don't believe that at all. It's okay. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. And then he smashes the Geritron or whatever. He smashes the monitor with a baseball bat. And he just keeps saying, I'm disappointed, I'm disappointed, I'm disappointed, I'm just disappointed. And he keeps slamming the TV and he slams stuff around the ring and the set for the TV time with the learning tree. And he keeps saying that. And he looks directly at Big Bill and says, I'm disappointed in you. And until you change that, I think it's best that I leave. And he walks away.
Yeah, this is a segment that certainly happened.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it, really. I thought it was, fine. But it was like, you kind of got to see what the next step is before, I give you, like, oh, this is what's about, this is what this is building to. It's just, all I can do at this point is wait. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing right now. It's because there's nothing going forward. Like, the learning tree has nothing going for it right now.
Yeah.
Obviously lost the one title they had that was making them involved and dangerous in AEW. Now Jericho has nothing, and Big Bill we're looking to see if he's eventually going to break out of it, and that's kind of what we're maybe thinking. And Jericho basically was smashing more shit, walking his way back to the car as he left. Maybe he's going to leave for a little bit. We don't know. But obviously, Big Bill breaking out of this could be exciting. But, it's just kind of there. Like I said, this whole storyline is just kind of there right now. And people are trying to maybe be excited about Big Bill in that right now. But people are just not excited with what's happening with the learning tree right now because people don't want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that.
Yeah. I did like how Brian Keith was, like, not okay with Big Bill speaking for him, though. I liked how he was uncomfortable with him saying that, though.
I was hoping Big Bill just beat up Chris Jericho, and maybe, but...
Right, and it just goes right then and there, yeah.
Yeah, but I think they have other plans, and I'm willing to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. There you go. And then the main event of Dynamite, the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli versus Wheeler Yuta versus the Ops, Hook and Samoa Joe. And I thought it was pretty solid. I thought they did some good stuff in this. I love the reaction of Samoa Joe, and I love how excited people are getting with this. But I love just showing this nice little chance of Samoa Joe and them getting a little bit of retribution on these guys and getting some heat back, I guess, or just being able to get back at the Death Riders, which was huge. Hook gets the red rum on Yuta and makes him tap out. Match itself I thought was pretty solid. I loved Claudio being able to just use his strength on Hook because it worked so well. Like, especially as he just uppercutted him to oblivion. Marina Shafir then gets in the ring though with a steel chair to hit Joe while he's not looking with a cheap shot. Claudio then hits the neutralizer onto the steel chair on Hook. Death Riders are like running off before they can get him. And Samoa Joe gets on microphone and calls them cowardly sons of bitches. And he says, we came here to get into a fist fight. Seems like the Death Riders are just dick riders, which was such a fun line. So he says this, we'll make it real simple. We want the Ops versus the Death Riders, and we're coming for the Trios Championships. And that is your closing moment of the show. I'm excited about that because I enjoy the Ops. I'm just intrigued now. It's just because with the Pac injury, how they're going to go about this. Like, is Mox now going to defend that with them, or are they going to have another member fill in for Pac since he's injured?
Let's go, Jack. Let's go, Jack.
Stop.
There was this really cool moment where they all had him in the submission moves. I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
And
that was good.
Yeah, and then like they They have the same killer instinct as the Death Riders. They're basically the good version of the Death Riders.
They really are.
The good guy version of the Death Riders. And
really
when
are.
it came down to it, and then they got jumped afterwards, and that was crazy. There was one thing, I don't know where it fell in the show. Tony Schiavone showed the FTR thing, and again, I'm probably reaching when I'm about to say this.
Yes.
He cuts the promo, and he says, he denounces Dax and the FTR for turning heel. And basically, he said he's seen a lot of turns, but this is the pinnacle of all the turns. Now, people are like, oh, you just picked up on one word. Well, if you remember when the original Pinnacle debuted, they had a year of MJF saying the pinnacle of professional wrestling. Wardlow saying the pinnacle of professional wrestling. They just kept dropping it. And they kept dropping it. And then it led to the Pinnacle recreating. So when he called it the Pinnacle while talking to FTR, again, I might be the only human in history that actually loved the Pinnacle. I actually loved the Pinnacle more than the people that were in the Pinnacle loved the Pinnacle.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. So I'm probably reaching, probably overstepping, but that got my juices flowing because I was like, I put up my picture of the Pinnacle. And like I said, again, it was not a turn. It was a culling. If you need to look up the word culling, I use that word specifically because it's a shout out to the fifth member of the Pinnacle that won't be joining this iteration if it is somewhat to happen. This is not one of those things where I'm going to get myself super excited for something, then it doesn't happen, I'm going to get mad. I know 90% chance it's probably not happening. Dax did not have a great experience being in the Pinnacle. I am not saying like I talked to Dax. He covered this on FTR with Dax's podcast that he didn't have the greatest experience with the Pinnacle. I'm hoping years have passed. Maybe they can reconcile because actually their storylines kind of go together right now. But I just had this little piece of hope. I'm literally wearing my Pinnacle shirt right now.
Yeah.
Because I want it that bad. And if they do it, just know. You may think, oh man, that makes the work story. They are doing it for me.
Yes, it's specifically for Floyd.
Me. It is specifically for me. The Pinnacle coming back would just be for Floyd and Floyd only. And I would be okay with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was AEW Dynamite from this week. Real quick, in terms of stuff that we have for Collision, we're going to have Anthony Bowens in action against Blake Christensen. We will be hearing from our boys, FTR, so it's must-watch TV. So get on that, boys. And then, of course, the Owen Hart tournament continues. We're going to have Brody King versus Konosuke Takeshita in the quarterfinals. And then we're also going to have the women's tournament. We're going to have a continuation with that because we're going to have Billy Starks go up against Jamie Hayter, and Harley Cameron goes up against the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, the Forever Women's Champion in Ring of Honor, Athena. So super, super, super excited to see that match, honestly, because I love both of them, and I can't wait to see how they do. And I believe that's all we have for Collision, or at least that's been announced for Collision this week. And then I don't know if anything was announced for Dynamite next week, actually. I didn't see anything.
No. So hold on just a second. Now, Collision, we got 4 matches, right?
Yep,
Dynamite
I got those ones, yep.
Dynamite next week in Philly, it's going to be Mercedes versus the winner of Athena's match.
Yes, so we get the continuation. Yeah, we get the continuation of the tournament, obviously. But then also, because next week is Spring Breakthrough, that will be the day, and it will be the moment where AEW will be the longest running weekly episodic wrestling television show on Turner Broadcasting, surpassing WCW Monday Nitro.
Correct. Now, yeah, I am happy for them. I did look up plane tickets. I couldn't make it. I mean, and then it's not meaning like it's absolutely necessary. I'll be at everything, but I really wanted to be there for that. Wear me a nice NWO shirt.
Of course, just to rub it in a little bit.
Yes, that was the goal, and no, I couldn't make it happen, but I am very excited for AEW because it's been dying since the day it was created. You know,
Correct.
Now, I mean, I've been told, you put in all this time. I remember a friend of mine flat out told me that the first All In was as good as it was ever going to get.
It was never going to get better than that.
I've sat in a stadium with 80,000 people. So, yeah. He was wrong, to say the least.
Yeah, it didn't seem to work out.
Yeah,
Did not seem to work out.
Because I found in the history, when people, they couldn't go up against the WWE, so no one can.
Yes.
But you don't have $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Money, you can pretty much do anything, So,
yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just how it works. It's like, you didn't have the resources that Tony Khan had. You probably didn't have everything that Tony Khan has as far as the knowledge and all that stuff of wrestling to compete on this level. And I'm thankful for AEW. We were talking about before the show, Cody Rhodes said on the line, the only thing John Cena ever did was disenfranchise such a person, a company, fan base so bad that it was easy for me to go away and build it up. And I'm like, I literally at that point I started jumping up and pointing at myself because I'm it. I say this all the time. Before like 2015 and on, I was a strictly WWE guy. It was the most convenient to watch on TV. They had enough shows. NXT, I didn't need anything else. And then
you were good, yeah.
And then, spoiler alert, Cena wins. I had to get the fuck out of there. I started with New Japan, then ROH, and then eventually led me to AEW. I'm not an AEW fan if it's not for John Cena being so boring. That's simple.
Boom. So
and I say that as I just found out John Cena is coming to Fan Expo Dallas, and I'm going to do a meet and greet with him.
Yup.
But I tell everybody like this: me doing a meet and greet with someone doesn't mean I like them. I collect photos of wrestlers like people collect baseball cards. It's just a card I don't have yet.
There you go. So that, though, is everything in AEW from this week. We just have a couple of quick headlines, and then we will call it a show, Floyd.
Yes. The biggest one is the news that Fyter Fest, June 4th, at the Mission Ballroom in Denver, Colorado. And it will air as a live 4-hour marathon of AEW's weekly television programming after, I believe it's going to be the NBA playoffs. And so that was like the big news going around. TNT looking to take advantage of taking advantage of that NBA lead-in. And yeah, again, you're going to hear the terrible takes. You're going to hear it. Because it's going to be really big in the first hour, and then like in the fourth hour, it's going to drop off faces earth. People have to work the next day. So a lot of people are just going to watch the first half and then watch the second half in the morning. It doesn't mean anything. So I am looking forward to that one. That is 6 days before my birthday. So that means there's supposed to be a Dynamite June 11th. Last year, that same week, that's my birthday, they skipped Dynamite. There was no Dynamite Day, or it was on Saturday or something. And I was so annoyed. So I'm hoping we get a June 11th Dynamite so I can be there for it to celebrate the greatest human I know. Me.
It's going to be good.
So
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's going to do it, though, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of All Things Elite. We appreciate the support. If you guys are enjoying the show, please continue to support us by downloading this fine show on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you choose to listen to us on. Turn automatic downloads on so you don't miss a single episode of this show. And then rate, review, and subscribe. Share us around with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. And follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at ATElitePod. And you can also find at Social Suplex, who make this show possible. And you should check out all the other great content that they have on their network. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ, and Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And with that, I will pass it off to Floyd so he can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite.
All right, make sure you check out the Chop Tea store. The link is in the bio under Buy All Things Elite merch. What is it? All In's coming up in July. I want to see some All Things Elite shirts there. If I see you in All Things Elite, you get a 100% free hug and a pic. I give you a pic to selfie too. I charge for those, and you get it for free if I see you in All Things Elite shirt. I'm looking forward to AEW week. I get to see all my favorite people. So hopefully you are all there and we pack this place. I'm on 20,000 in building. I don't know if we're going to get it, but it'd be great if we can. That being said, I've had to ask this question earlier that my friend asked me, and he was like, ask me what my favorite Disney song is. So I put that out there for you because I have found it a great, as someone that is older, I have found it a great jaunt down memory lane because I didn't realize how many Disney songs I knew and how much they were a part of my life. As an adult, I don't have any kids, so I don't watch a lot of Disney at all. I think I just saw Moana 2, but that was the first time I'd watched a Disney movie since Moana 1. So, I don't watch a lot of Disney movies, but it does take you back to your childhood. A good jaunt down memory lane. So think about that if you want to send one out or tag it. For me, it's A Whole New World. That's from Aladdin. Austin, what was your number one?
My number one was Go the Distance from
Hercules.
Hercules, yes.
Go the Distance from Hercules. Check those out. But take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Tell people you love them every day. I imagine if you're listening to the show, you've heard me say this so many times. I'm hoping you do it because you don't know how much time you have left. I'm not trying to bring anybody down with that statement, but you don't. It is the one thing we don't know. It's the one commodity you have in life is time, how you spend it, who you spend it with. So make all your time count. I know most of us have to go at least 40 hours of work, but there's that period of time outside of work. Sometimes you're going to be tired and you're not going to want to hang out. Sometimes you're not going to be this and you don't want to do that. Go do it anyway. Try to put on a smile face because, again, unfortunately, it could be one of the last times you see that person, whether you know it or not. So definitely love on everyone. And the last thing I want to leave you with is happy birthday to one of the dopest, most talented, best people I know. Happy birthday, Mr. Rich Latta. Shout out from the All Things Elite family. Dude did the intro to our show. Again, I don't think there's anything, I might be a bigger fan of Rich than someone in his family. I don't think he's bad at anything. I'm pretty sure he could go out there and bust a triple-double if he played basketball. So shout out to Rich. Happy birthday. And with that, I will leave you how I always leave you. Whether it's home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.